Okay, Gewaldig. We are Chizzuk from Chassidus. Chodesh Elul, Tafshin Pei Hey. Amazing, we had Shal Savarokim. Hopefully everything should be blessed, as we mentioned in the previous sessions, for not just this Chodesh, but for the whole new year of Tafshin Pei Vav. Postal's good, as they say in Yiddish, that we should, hopefully our prayers and our will, this is the most important point, the will, the rotzen, the whole Chodesh, the whole Chodesh Elul, Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li, is a Chodesh of rotzen, of will, of Ravad D'Ravan, is a time of very deep connection, and what we want is what Hashem, how He connects with us. What our rotzen is the most important part of our being, and I was just writing about it now in my book United Souls, about the pure essence of our neshama and our soul, that it wants only to do the will of Hashem in the most pure form. We have to try, when we're learning, try to tune in to that kind of rotzen and that will, and hopefully it will bring you a lot of chizzuk, because we definitely need it more than ever nowadays. Kasher kol neshamas. This is now chapter 37 in Tanya. We're moving. Kol neshama nefesh alakisha b'chol Yisrael. It's page 492 in Lessons in Tanya. When the whole neshama, the whole divine soul in all of Yisrael, which is what? Hemesachlachis, Bepratis, the Shishim Rebua, is divided up into 600,000 particulars or parts. To Kaim Kol Nefesh Pratis Kol Torah Mitzvahs Torah. And the point is that they will fulfill each individual soul, therefore, the 630 mitzvahs of the Torah. So you have 600,000 root neshamas, souls of Am Yisrael. There are more souls in physical sense of how many people there are in Am Yisrael. But when you work out the amount of letters in the Torah, it comes out something 300 and something thousand. But then each aleph has, for example, 3 letters. It has a yud, a vav, and a yud. So really, there's 600,000 osius in the Torah. Yesh shishim ribius osius in the Torah. So that's the reason why it's talking about these 600,000 root neshamas that stood at Har Sinai. They're connected into the 600,000 letters in the Torah, according to how you explain, as I said, dividing up the letters of the Torah within the letters of the Torah to come out with this number. And that's how many souls stood at Har Sinai. And that's our shorish, our root.
Every word has three stuff.
Yeah, right.
3 drachim.
Drachim. Yes.
Gematria,
There's numerical,
and how you call it.
the form of the letter and how you say it, right. And that's also connected to how we speak as well. But the concept is we also are connected into the 613 mitzvahs, 613. Yeah, not the Steve Kodos in what was his 316 or something like that. We're 613. My family made a lot of money out of that T-shirt. That's a big sell. Yeah, but we're here talking about 613. 6 Tarag mitzvahs. Yeah, there's 630 mitzvahs. Shasa lo taseh, says the Balatanya. Lahafrid shasa gidim shal dam nefesh chionis shebeguf. And they refrain from transgressing the 365 prohibitions, which is also 365 days in a year. It's not whatever. And there's within us 365 sinews in each person. And remember, we already explained that Am Yisrael, even though there's 600,000 souls, but that's in history, there's one body of Adam, of human, formed, it's called Adam Kadmon, and it goes through all of history. So within the history of humankind, there's 613 mitzvahs, and we said 248 limbs. That forms the ideal human being, which is 248 mitzvahs, which is rechem or rachem, or is the ramach mitzvahs, and it's the amount of limbs in a person. And then you have 365 sinews, which is 365, and he says these are the gidim shal dam and nefesh chonish beguf, of the animal soul and the body. Because remember, what we've been learning about is how can we elevate this animal soul. This is the big tafkir, the big tachlis. And remember, L'David Hashem Uri, even though it seems very ruchniya, spiritual, Elul, but if you read a little bit weiter, there's Psalm 27, we're going to start saying it tomorrow morning, please God. We're going to have a whole Chodesh and Tishrei, most of Tishrei, saying this special psalm every day, both Shachris and Mincha, according to the Nisach Svad, or Marav, some start in the night. We're going to say the special Tehillim. The point is that we're tapping into this light, the David Hashem Uri, but we're also, within that Tehillim, realizing it also deals with the animal soul. It deals with the Yetzer Hara, with the other side. And that's a big part of Yiddishkeit, not to be in an imaginary world that we're some angel or we're some Rebbe. Yeah? What are we? we're people with a Yetzirah, with a Nefesh Bahamis, and Hashem wants us to slowly deal. It's even in the dam of our Nefesh, the blood of our soul, Chiyunis Shabaguf, that vitalizes is the 365 prohibitions connected to the sinews. So all the blood is pumping around the body is connected to these 365 prohibitions. So now it's about how do we purify that aspect of ourselves, elevate that aspect of ourselves. So they did not draw nurture or receive vitality by means of any transgressions, which is what? The 3 unclean klipas, these shells. So you don't want to, for example, eat any chazer, any treif, that one that will go into your blood, and that will spread the treif all around your body. And not only that, you're over on the mitzvah's law taseh, a negative commandment, and now it's in your blood system, this treif, and it's gimel klipas tameis, it can't be elevated. It's part of the 3 impure shells that can't be lifted up. Now, I did say when Mashiach comes in, or the Baalei Tshuva, Nafshigala, that there is a certain Bechina, Serb Hashem with it. Yes, we're going to learn about that in a second. But right now, we don't want to have any Yanuka, any eunuch, any sort of nurturing, like a baby nurturing from a mother. You don't want to nurture it from this impure element. Yeah, Shemahen Shnishba Shasad Lo Tasei Deraisa, and Fain Shem Derabanan. And remember, whenever you have deraisas, which is 365 or 248 positive, there's also all the derabanans that branch off from that. Like when you're only Hilchah Shabbos, because there's a lot of malachas. Now there's the Ikka deraisa, but then there's all the derabanans and all the branches that come off from that. And there's you see the Shulchan Aruch, you see Shas, you see it's a big Torah. Yeah. Now, what this is doing, if you understand it on a Pneumius level, on an inner level, and this is what we're getting to here, is it's connected into the essence of our being and the essence of Am Yisrael's as one neshama of 600,000 neshamas. Now Hashem wants, as this guy was speaking now, Ben Shemaim was speaking about the klal and the prat. There's the group, and then there's all the details. So too of Am Yisrael. There's a klal, there will klal Yisrael, and there's pratim, and each one. And Hashem wants both realities. He doesn't want us to all become one robot, serving him. He wants all the individuals to come together as a klal, as a nation, as a group, to serve him individually with their own individual yetzaharas and personalities and all the other things that we deal with. And then by purifying that goof of Am Yisrael, that physical aspect, that nefesh bahamis, all the different parts, and it's all to do with how we connect into the Torah mitzvahs. Hashem's given us the code system and the reality of how to purify our essence, our body, our human reality. And the Elul is an extra Sata Dishmaya, and Tishrei even more so, to really work on this and get to the essence of who we are, the soul level, the neshama. And Hashem gives us this extra koyach to really tune into the truth of who we are. Now, whenever that's going on, whenever there's the good times, there's also the Yetzirah comes also in equal force. So I've noticed just since Elul came, a tremendous feeling of like excitement and elevation, and at the same time there's tremendous Yetzirah just coming and beating me up, and they both come together, and that's how Hashem works it, because He wants us to give us balance. He doesn't make it like He just gives you a tremendous light and everything is gewaldic and great. And that's why you read Psalm 27, you'll see within that psalm, you're going to 30 times Hashem. There's 13 times Hashem's Shem Havaya, but you see in that psalm, even though there's all the 13 times Shem Havaya, which is connected the Yom Sarachim, which is connected, the big part of this whole Elul and Tishrei is bringing Hashem's mercy to us and elevating us back to Yemei Kedem, to a time when we're pure and bringing that into reality now. But at the same time, it's dealing with the fact that you have a body and a Yetzirah and all this animal soul making you crazy. There's nudnik. And we have to purify this by not doing these negative things and all the other rabbinical aspects of it. The vitalizing soul can no longer ascend to God. It wants us eating this treif. It ate this pig, which unfortunately, I've been moda here that I've had that nesoina or seafood or that kind of thing. It's real treif that can't elevate. This tzaddik Nebuch Hashem has had a clean life. He hasn't had touched that kind of stuff. For this klipa can never be elevated, it must be nullified and utterly destroyed. So there's a quite strong lotion here. strong language. This is what he was quoting the Rambam, who brings this concept. Ramban, but it's also from the Novi Zechariah. And I shall drive out the unclean spirit from the earth. So Shem's going to take care of it for us. That's Mashiach. He's going to remove all these blocks and burdens. All these things that pull us down or make us feel heavy. He's going to remove it. That's why it's so important to pray to him. The whole addiction world has realized that we're all addicted to these phones and we're all experiencing on something. I was just listening to podcasts on the way here about some new drink. I don't know, it's called Feel Good or something. A new drink in America that's an alternative to alcohol. So all the alcoholics have now got addicted to this because it's the ones who have drunk it, because it's highly addictive just without alcohol. So it's not helping. It's just another form of addictions like these phones. So we're like meshubed, we're like burdened by the impurity in the world. I'm screaming to Hashem, help remove it from us. But he will. But obviously it's his will that we have to go through this challenge, this battle. And that the David Hashem gives us the strength to deal with it somehow. Like we've been dealing with our enemies in the physical sense, with all the people around us in Gaza, and we've been dealing with the physical enemies. Hashem's going to give our Yisrael the strength. Unlike the Holocaust, where God forbid it should never happen again, where we didn't have the strength to fight back. We had the neshama to give up our life to Hashem. But much better is to live al Kiddush Hashem, and that's why He's giving us koach now to do that. He's going to remove this unclean spirit from the earth, just like He will from Eretz Yisrael. And every individual will also do what? The 248 positive commitments, therefore drawing down the best of the Ein Sof below. To elevate him and to bind and unite with him the entire vital soul, which is the 248 limbs of the body, in perfect unity. Now I'm going to read a little bit from Shmuel Diamond and we'll end off this beautiful learning. Remember, it's Parsha Shoftim. It's an opportunity. Tasima as a melech. What's melech? Moyach, Leiv, Kaved. Big Torah of Tanya is the Moyach, the mind. Mem, Lamed, Chaf is Melech. The Melech gives the Koach, it's like the Rosh of the head of Am Yisrael, the guiding force, to have the mind rule over the heart, which rules over the lower parts, the Kaved, which is like the liver or whatever, the lower parts. So this is Hashem's giving us in Parsha Shoftim a broader picture how when we have a Melech, he helps elevate the people and elevate our physical reality, our spiritual reality. Yisrael divided into 600,000 neshamas. This is Shmuel Diamond. Correspondingly, the entire world is also divided up into 600,000 parts. Each part, as he was talking about, we just had this shir just before from a nice Israeli friend. What's his name?
Avi Shmuel.
Avi
Shmuel.
Oh, Shmuel. He's the Baal Korah. So he speaks English, no?
Yeah, of course.
He did it stark in Hebrew.
He's Israeli.
He's a very good Baal Korah here.
He's also the principal of Derech Havod, and he's also one of the top musicians in Efrat.
Oh, wow. Each part is attached to a neshama and is raised accordingly. These 600,000 neshamas are root souls that can themselves be subdivided 600,000 sparks. These individual neshamas, descendants of one, become enclosed in a body for the exclusive purpose of raising up the nefesh bahamis, which is the animal soul. They become enclosed within, and the portion of the world that is connected to that particular nefesh bahamis. We're going to talk about next week the idea of tzedakah, and that's another big way of elevating.
Yeah,
tshuva, tzedakah, tefillah. We're going to get into a lot of Elul stuff. It's hashgacha pratis. We're learning about this right now. But this is Rosh Chodesh. This is the Rosh of the month. Like the Melech is the Rosh of the Am Yisrael. I'm getting the guidance now, how to elevate this month. And just last line, remember, this is the whole point of Tanya. In accordance with his will, to abode for him in this world, not in the base midrash shamayla, not in some high Rebbe Shatish once a week, to bring it into the world, into the swimming pool that finally opened, which I went today, into the gym, so you're doing exercise, your body is healthy. I said you should be zok to healthy tshuva, not just tshuva. We need to be healthy, eating healthily, thinking healthily, speaking healthily, playing some music, using creativity. And that we have to remember that the avos, remember we always have them in our pocket, in our soul. We have Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov to help us. We have this essential connection from our avos kadoshim, like they were makava, they were batul Hashem. they were completely nullified, like a chariot. Like when you're in the Tesla and it's bottled to Elon Musk. No, I'm joking. It's bottled to the driver, hopefully, yeah, not to the robots, yeah. It's not bottled to the AI, please God. It's bottled to the neshama. The neshama is guiding this car to his test to go daven and to do mitzvahs and to help the wife or whatever it is. Yeah, I can't talk so much, but with my feet, yeah, I'm walking up and down the hill serving Hashem. The body is bottled to Rotzen to go daven with the family minyan, the shtibul, to do the right thing. And this elevates the whole body. These 2, 4, 8 limbs, 3, 6, 5. Mitzvahs, Lord Tasa, you shouldn't do any of the prohibitions, so we shouldn't give any negativity out there. Shouldn't yonek, shouldn't nurture from any of this negativity. We're in a state of elevation, of mitzvahs, Tarag mitzvahs, which is connected to all of our Yisrael, 600,000 souls, which will itself, Yeshishim Ribi Osis, the Torah, Yesh Shishim Nishmas Yisrael, yeah, as Yeshua, and also the idea that Am Yisrael are here to elevate everything, and that includes first of all ourselves. And I believe that we can do it because Hashem's giving us the koach. Last week's parsha we're back in Eretz Yisrael, Parshas Re'eh, yeah, or Nitzavim, we're already all returning to Eretz Yisrael, and then this week's parsha Shoftim we're making a melech of ourselves, and then next week's Shabbos we're getting rid of Amalek, all the doubts. And then we're ready to what? To crown Mashiach, to build a Beis Hamikdash, to have the shofar blowing with the Korbanah and the beautiful Tishrei to look forward to. This is the month to get ready for this time to crown the King, and we should be Zocher Be'ez Hashem to all of that, to crown the ultimate King, Hashem Yisbarach, crown Him over ourselves, over our limbs, over our sinews, over our people, over all of humanity. That's our job. And to build a dwelling for Hashem. And this is what we're doing. This is real stuff. It's happening now. More than ever.
Amen.